Taxes for the nobles are sky high. Don't really need any more money, but what would happen if we would increase the taxes everywhere to the highest level? Let's see how much money that would bring us. That wouldn't bring us any more money really. We would still be making 11,000, or at least that's what it looks like. It can be, obviously. It probably just can't calculate it properly. Well, America and India is bringing us almost equal amount of money. Not entirely equal, but close enough. Here we need to build ourselves a small fleet, and we need to transport these soldiers from this area onto another from where we could attack Spanish territories here further. Here or somewhere else. Yeah, I need to create myself a force that would land onto Spanish territories.
D'autres ordres? Votre Majesté?
Yeah, you need to go here. This way. It's going to be complete.
Tenez-vous prêt?
Okay. Things here are going to be surely extra difficult. Constructed. And so my efforts are to create a forest here. And let's do this then. And look at that. They didn't rebel. More than 1,700 of them died in these clashes. And we have them under our control. Furthermore, with these guys are ready almost. They're almost ready. I want to land them on this island right there, where they would be well positioned to land on these islands of San Domingo and La Habana. Furthermore, this force needs to also be in a position from which they could land onto the Spanish territory.
Marchez! À vos ordres!
Okay, the army from the navy.
Préparez-vous! D'autres ordres! Marchez!
Priority.
À gauche! Marchez, monsieur!
In the army tab here, when they land, I could only see this force, not my army that was in the navy. Unless I didn't click something. Okay, so far so good. In Europe, everybody is in place. Here we've got some cavalry. Cavalry that we don't really need, I see. And I think we have enough armies to go around, so we'll disband these. They do not serve a purpose anymore. Okay. These can go south. And let's become in a position to intercept the Spanish. If need be. Also, my army can leave the town. Downs.
D'autres ordres? D'autres ordres? En avant! Pour la couronne et le pays!
Done. So the war will soon break out. Doubtfully. And we'll have some really huge battles. A few really huge battles. Rebellion is taking place here. Certainly not the first rebellion.
Victoire!
A lot less rebels, but we still cannot deal with them entirely. As you can see, just slightly, they are still it's difficult. This nation has launched a steamship, the first of its kind amongst the rivals. This revolutionary vessel is powered by existing new technology, does not require sails or a prevailing wind to move quickly, and carries 75 heavy cannons that can be brought to bear upon the enemy. Oh, that's interesting. I think that's the second one, but the card still says the first one. I'm sure I already read that before. That they have such a thing. Finally, the people in Satara, Bijapur have been put under control. In Missouri, just barely, but I'm sure they will be because Catholicism is making a footnote here. No, they're still not under control. And I want to build a few buildings that I am aware of. Right here, right there. Lithuania. There are still quite a few that needs to be
Votre Majesté?
worked on.
Votre Majesté?
And I need to find them now. First of all,
Collecte de ravitaillement.
let us start with ports. There should barely be a few ports that need to be further established. Like there's one here, but that's the last tire port. Done. So the ports are all at the highest level. Now the towns. The towns are not at the highest level. Not ever there. But we're only talking about provincial capitals here that need upgrading. Everywhere else in the smaller towns, things are done to completion. We almost have 1 million in our treasury, which is really good. That's the last tire, yeah. These are last tire buildings also. Finally, last tire. Not last tire. Jerusalem. Almost missed that, just barely. So I need to keep my mouse on the card in order for it to actually show me what I need. In India things are splendid. Even in Ceylon, Trincomalee, everything is done. In USA, everything has to be done also. Oh, not USA, I'm kind of mixing these because sometimes USA is called America. I wanted to say in America, surely everything has been built up to the limit. And even if we do not build each and every settlement fully, it's fine. Perfectly fine. And soon the abolition of slavery will be done. Intellectual advance, abolition of slavery. The abolition of slavery removes the right of one man to own another and outlaws any trade in human beings as property. The slave trade is hugely profitable for those who engage in it, whether through trade such as that from Africa to the New World or conquest such as the predations of European shipping by the Barbary pirates of North Africa. The morality and necessity of slave owning, however, are disputed. Abolition of the trade has its roots in religious feelings and in radical enlightenment. thought, but its effects are clear. A cessation of slave-taking, transportation, and exploitation. Historically, abolition was far from universally popular. William Wilberforce, 1759-1833, the Member of Parliament for Kingston upon Hull in Yorkshire, the MP for Kingston upon Hull in Yorkshire, campaigned for many years in the face of bitter opposition from mercantile interests. His eventual success only outlawed slavery in British possessions and British involvement in any foreign trade. The Royal Navy acted as a world policeman attempting to stop the African trade at source. Oddly, English judges had already decided the slaves could become free by stepping into English soil in 1772. Wilberforce's work was the heart of the process that continues even today with attempts to stop people trafficking. Alright, bizarre things that finally came under control. Things are looking good in other areas. So far so good. We have this. And there are still a few military moves that need to take place right here. For example, this army needs to be sent transports onto the islands right there. And so off we go. Now this university, modern university, serves absolutely no purpose anymore. And due to that, we're just going to get rid of it. And send the forces back. We can't. Okay. Then he can go to the church then and command his troops there. Done. It looks like we worked on this very well. And for quite some time. There's only a few further things that we need to do, and we'll start the war against the Spanish. So, first of all, here, I actually would like to build something, but we can't. However, I can send reinforcements there, just for the sake of it. And so that we would have an upper hand in this conflict.
Vos ordres, Votre Majesté?
This, I'm sure, will be very useful. Also, our transports can move into the island here, from which we may launch offensives onto other islands. Everything's more or less protected. Everybody gathered here. I see that these ships would need some work, and we're gonna do just that. They cannot promote an admiral this time. I think I can. and I was able to. Fine, I didn't want it to promote it in the biggest ship because it wouldn't be good to kind of not allow the biggest ship into the fight because I would be afraid to lose it. And I think that's almost all, really. So we'll be starting this war on our terms, nearly. Another building done. Okay, let's get our
Recevoir vos ordres, votre humble serviteur.
armies in
Prêt
position.
à recevoir vos ordres, votre majesté. Prêt. D'autres ordres. En avant, marchez, votre majesté. Troupes, en avant. D'autres ordres. Nord, en avant, marchez.
Okay, these guys can actually go south.
Troupes, en avant. Vos ordres.
And that's it.
À vos ordres, Milord.
Here everything's under control.
Vos ordres, votre majesté.
This force can move up ahead a bit. I don't need the general there. The navy has been fully fixed. And we just need to wait a little bit further. Let's see how they would react if we would start breaking treaties. Cancel trade agreement. Boom! We're making only 32,000 now.
Autre chose?
This should create problems for them also. Oh, look at that, they would suddenly try to get back. Let us discuss matters of trade and business. I apologize for such vulgarities. Should not trouble proper gentlemen. No, thank you. We're just fine. Workers are on strike in Anatolia. That's something that needs to be fixed. I'm not sure why would they do that. People in government, mostly due to industrialization. And so we'll just kind of get a few proper garrisons in here and hope that this will fix things up for us. And also we can start a war against the Spanish now. Our dread sovereign has little time to consider your mailings, so let us brief speak. So that's Spain, and they're hostile. Let's declare war on them. Wherever war it is, I will light a candle for your soul, for it must be stained for your part in this matter. Okay. That's going to be huge.